everybody. Did you think you'd ever see this one again? This is my 1998 Wheelhorse 520xi. This is like probably one of the strongest wheel horses if you ask me. It's basically got a truck frame. It's a hydroformed, stamped, massive frame. Part of the frame rails here are probably close to 6 inches high, and I think it's 3/16 of an inch thick. It's just massive. Everything on this thing is huge. This is a 20 horsepower machine with foot pedal hydrostatic transmission. It's got high and low ranges. It's got cruise control. It's got tilt steering. It's got a little bit of everything. So I figured this would be the perfect platform to build my front end loader. I think I sold my last ARK 500 front end loader 2.5 years ago, and I have missed it pretty much ever since. But it's been far too long since I've had a front end loader. I'm very close to actually running this thing. I've been doing a little bit of work here and there off camera, so I figured I would just kind of give a little bit of a project update. I replaced all the tires. There was a really good sale on these front ribbed tires at one of the farm stores, Tractor Supply or Family Farm and Home. They were like kind of a closeout. So they're a 7 rib tire. They have been fluid filled with no tubes. I used bead sealer and just filled the tires up. These rear tires are 26 12/12s on stock wheels. I do believe I should do a little bit of trimming. I can't fit a pencil between the fender and the tire. So I should probably put that on my list of things to do. So I did opt for all soft lines. I really like the look of hard lines. I think that just flows well. But I figured as far as serviceability goes, I just want to have standard NPT ends that if I had to go get some hose, I could just piece something together. So that's what I did. I used some steel channel from here to here, and then also from here up to here. But I made it so these hoses can be grouped together, and so this part will be exposed. Just a little bit here is exposed so I can access this cylinder, and then the rest will be going out of here to that cylinder or to this cylinder. That's pretty much done. Everything on this needs to be stripped and painted, so that's just a given. I've got to stick a battery in it. That's not a big deal. I've just got to make sure all the fluids on the tractor are good. I have to bolt the mule drive subframe and the tractor loader subframe together. I've got it clamped, I've got a pilot hole drilled, so that should be quick and easy as well. I do need to rebuild these cylinders. They are just basically here for mock-up right now. They have been torn apart. There are no C-clips or anything or any packing in there. I've got all new O-rings, all new packing, all the bushings and everything that goes inside. I've got all that. I pretty much just have to put it together. On these cylinders, I do believe I would have to find the existing holes. So there's a hole here on the inside of this tube. And I believe also there's one, yeah, on the inside there. I was thinking it would be really nice when my hoses come in, that I could have my connection here on top. Now to do that, I do believe that the block inside this cylinder has an O-ring on both sides of that. And so I should be able to just drill a new hole perpendicular to the one that I want to change. The block inside will rotate. And what I'm doing is basically drilling through this and then threading through it as a body size hole into the block inside here. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. Maybe once I trim this, I will see if I've got enough clearance here. I don't want to have any interference later. These uprights, they are a little bit too wide. They're 2.5 inches. And when the bucket goes all the way up, this body starts to rub on there. So I'm just gonna knock a 1/2 inch off. I've got it taped, so I'm just gonna grab my metal cutting saw, or maybe even just a Sawzall, and just rip it up there, grind it smooth, call it good. So that's pretty much it. I'm very close. Otherwise, it's just gonna be tear down, repaint. I've got some holes here and there that I don't need to use on the bucket. I figured I'd weld those up. I have all brass bushings for all of these pins, so I just need to ream out those holes so bushings fit. So it's all just little fit and finish things. There's been quite a few people who have asked me, when am I ever going to finish my loader? And I guess the answer is, I want it done. It's got a little bit of a permanent home here in the shop, and I've been working on a lot of other stuff in the main bay. So I've kind of got this set up now. I'm starting to clean a little bit in here, that I can just roll it into the work bay, do some work. When I'm done, push it back. What do you think about my rear ballast? Do you think that's enough weight? I think there's about 440 pounds here. Do you think I should add my wheel weights or not? I've got a set of Craftsman. They're like quick disconnect. They're little toggle lock wheel weights. So I could throw them on, but then I'm a little bit wider than I want to be. So you think this is going to be enough weight? Let me know. This toolbox here will hold all of these weights down. The posts are in there. And I've got the bottom of the toolbox drilled, you can see, to sit over these little nubs where needed, and then also bolt down to those posts. So it kind of just stays right there. This toolbox is going to have things like my clevises, maybe some chains. I had to build this special socket to bolt the front of the subframe onto the tractor, so that'll stay with the machine. And I'm just going to have some spares in here, maybe a little bit of tools here and there. I've been thinking about putting power steering on. So that's the toolbox. Once it's all back together, it'll be just smooth and clean. I also have a good 2-inch receiver hitch. That's from a truck. I just cut it down and added on to the loader subframe. So it's a monster. It's a beast. All kinds of ballast weight. I should have no problem lifting pretty much anything I can fit in the bucket. If you recall, I ran a return filter on this tank here. And when I did that, I ran an air hose that was just zip tied on. So that way I could drill into that and tap it. No, I think I drilled in and welded in a bung. I used compressed air to blow any chips out. And I can also fish a magnet down in there when I'm all ready to fill it up. But I'm pretty confident that it's good and clean inside. I'll probably flush everything anyway once I get it together. Maybe I'll just change the fluid in my parts washer or something and go through a few things that I don't really want to contaminate. I gave myself a little bit of a guard for this filter. I didn't want the filter to get damaged and blow oil all over the place. This is a 1/4 inch thick. It's heavy. It's a beast. It just bolts in place here. I don't have anything holding it down below, but then it also bolts on the back side to the filter mount. So this is the back side of this filter mount here. And this tab has some slots in it that I milled. So that way, when I do a good assembly on this, if it does run in farther, once all those pipe threads turn in, I'll have a little bit of adjustment on that. You can see the filter here and why I wanted to protect it. It just seems like that could be open to the elements such as branches or who knows what I might be moving around or moving nearby. I just didn't want to damage that filter. Well, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this little update or introduction to the project. It's been quite some time since I've actually made any content on this. And more than the videos, I'm excited to be able to actually use this and say I completed my own front end loader project. Some of this was already fabricated, like the bucket when I did buy it, but everything to make it fit this tractor is something that I've done in-house. I'm really looking forward to using this. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider. It really helps me and it'll keep you updated when I release new projects.